Hey, New Mexico was last summer. It's over, so let's just forget about it.
Your mother's not about to forget about it. She broke up with John today and gave him back his ring.
Yeah, well, I'm very sorry for them, but what do you want me to do about it? Look, today was like the best day of my life, all right? And I come home and you want me to talk about New Mexico. Don't you understand what happened to me today? It was the first day that your mother didn't treat me like a stable boy. Plus, I might even get a promotion for what I did on the Lawrence contract.
I'm glad, and I'm sure that you deserve that. I really am.
And that's all you're going to say?
No, I'm not sure that you want to hear everything else I have to say. I mean, you really drove Meg to the airport to her plane for New Mexico?
Well, sure, but...
So you were lying to your family and to me for weeks. You knew she was down there in New Mexico.
Wait a minute. I told you last summer that I knew she was in New Mexico.
Right, after the fact. After you knew that I knew about it. You and Meg plotted this, didn't you? This whole deal. Why?
You want an honest answer?
Yes, I want an honest answer.
Because I wanted you, and Dusty was in my way.
Your son's still staying with you. Fine boy, worth 50 grand to keep him out of this, wouldn't you say?
You used my daughter, John. I just don't trust you anymore.
Hi! Ay, qué susto, Dios mío. Hey, you come in.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Hi, Andy.
Hi. Is Mrs. Snyder here?
No, she's not. I thought we could have dinner together, you and me.
Do you know what time it is? You don't think I don't feed him when you're not home? An hour ago, he had his dinner.
I'm sure he did. They don't take it personally now, okay?
Well, listen, if you're going to make something for him, why don't you make something for me, too?
All right. You want some burritos con salsa muy picante?
All right.
Oh, boy.
You want something more fancy?
Nothing for me. I'm fine.
Ave María. Este hombre viene aquí y ahora se arma esta revolución con visitas. Rosa! You here for dinner, too?
No, I've already eaten, thank you. Kind of you to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Hi, Andy.
Hi.
I'm sorry. I heard about the news. I'm very sorry.
Oh, isn't this nice, Meg? We can have a wonderful dinner, and we don't have to risk being seen in a restaurant.
Does anyone else who works for Walsh Enterprises live at the Executive Club?
Only James Stenbeck, and we're not friends.
How come?
Because I don't like him, and I don't trust him. He's the sort of man who would sacrifice anything to get ahead. He ruined Steve Andropoulos.
I heard you had something to do with that.
No, that was handled by James Stenbeck at Walsh. But tonight is your night. I'd like to propose a toast to the most beautiful student nurse that Memorial has ever had the good fortune to train.
It's me. Come down and drink champagne with James. I won't take no for an answer.
As the world turns. This portion brought to you today by Ultra Pampers, the diaper with the lock-away core. Even when they're wet, they're dry. And by new Sunspray Coast. Same great Coast lather, but a whole new scent.
Tony, I know you're there.
The bathroom.
You told me.
My robe.
Just a moment, Lucinda. Just a moment.
How much longer are you going to keep me waiting in the hall?
I'm sorry, Lucinda. I was just about to get into the shower. Just a second.
Hey,
Hello.
darling.
Hello.
Oh, you were, darling.
Yes.
Come on, come to James's room and have a glass of champagne to celebrate the Lawrence contract. You must, because you're the one that reopened the negotiations after.
No, Lucinda, that was all James' deal. I think he deserves the credit.
No, you equally deserving of whatever he gets, and I insist, just one glass, one glass.
No, Lucinda, I just got home. I want to change.
Is it because of the tension that I feel all the time between you and James? Let's stop it. Tonight we're going to make a blow for freedom. We're going to stop it. I insist on a glass of champagne. Come on. Darling.
That must be Bickford Channing. Yes.
You better answer the phone and dine.
Yes.
And if you can, come to James's room.
All right, perhaps I'll see you a little later. All right?
Not too much later.
All right. Goodbye. Hello. Maria. How are you? How was Paris? Oh, yes. Well, you know what they say, that Paris is the city of lovers. Sierra? Well, we are still not living together, but I hope that will all be changed before the baby comes.
You want an honest answer, so I gave you an honest answer. So now what's the matter?
You just admitted that you and Meg plotted to break up me and Dusty.
That's right.
Oh.
And it's the truth.
It is the truth. That's great. You weren't thinking about anybody else except yourself, what you wanted.
I was thinking about you. It's like I told you before. I want you, and I don't want anybody else. And I had to make you see that.
You sound like right now. You sound just like my mother. When she wants something, she'll do anything to get it, anything she has to.
You just hold on a second.
Admit it.
Sell it.
You helped Meg to go down to New Mexico to seduce Dusty.
I didn't know she was gonna sleep with him.
Is that part of your plan? Wasn't that part of your plan?
No, it wasn't part of my plan. What difference does it make anyway? You and Dusty weren't getting along all that well now, were you? You wanted me as much as I wanted you. But you just weren't ready to admit it yet.
What do you think? You think that I would do the same thing in your situation? I wouldn't. I'm not like that, Alden.
You listen to me. I'd never let anybody or anything ever come between us, no matter what I had to do to stop it.
That scares me. It really scares me when you say that.
Why? Because my feelings are so strong? Yeah, well, sometimes it scares me, too. But that's the way it is.
What's going on? Did something happen today that I should know about?
No, well, it's nothing to worry about, Andrew, believe you me.
Andrew, what have you heard from your mom?
Oh, my mom called me last night. She said she's going to stay in London for another week.
That means you're going to be chief of staff for another week. That should put a smile on your face.
It does.
The burritos are ready.
All right.
You want some?
Oh, no, thank you, Rosa. I hear they're delicious, but no, thank you.
He don't need no more.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put my foot in it when Andrew was here. I assumed he knew.
Okay, it's okay.
Come on. What happened, John?
Oh, it's a long story, believe you me. You don't have the time to hear it. It's just the usual, you know. It's like a rerun of all the relationships in my life. Same.
I liked Emma. I mean, I really thought that maybe this time.
You and me both. I just muck it up, that's all. What a record. Kim, Lila. Your mother deserves so much better. I have no one to blame but myself. I do this to myself. Every time I think I've learned something, I go and I make the same stupid mistake again. It's no wonder that Dustin runs out of this place. He runs away from me. I'm such a fine role model for that kid.
That's a good chunk of self-pity. Don't be so hard on yourself, you know. You don't give yourself enough credit. Dusty loves you very much. He's like a son to you. And Andrew's pathetic. He worships the ground you walk on. That's two sons and a daughter who think you're pretty nifty. Where I sit.
You got 3 kids who love you. I'd gladly settle for 1.
Oh, come on, babe. Don't say that.
Oh,
hell's wrong with you?
I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed with Tonio.
Well, you're not funny. You won't drink champagne with us? Is that why?
No, I think he's got a runaway attraction for the ladies.
Proves he's human.
No, it does not. It just proves that he is not as smart as what I hoped that he would be. And on top of it, he reminds me of one of my husbands. Any woman, an excuse to show his manhood.
I can't imagine any man wanting to fool around when he has you by his side.
Tonio's got a woman in his room now.
So, he and Sierra separated. You want him to be celibate?
That's not the point. I caught him. I caught him having an affair with someone at a time when he was professing to be just deeply attached to Sierra. That's what I object to. That I caught him. Now, can't I have any discretion? He will never get Sierra back. Never if he flaunts women openly.
If he's such a womanizer, why do you want to see them reconcile?
Because my empire, I'm going to turn my empire over to him when I want to. But I'm not going to turn over my empire to somebody who is divorced from my daughter.
Well, if they're truly incompatible, maybe you ought to think long and hard before you give him the reins to the Walsh Empire.
Actually, no. No. I think that Tonio really will make a splendid husband for Sierra. And she needs somebody so much to look after. She needs it, and he is the father of her child. She does need him, and she will need him more as she comes closer to her time, as they say in the Old Testament. I'm amusing you?
Yes, you are.
Why?
This sudden burst of old-fashioned morality.
Well, so what? So what if it is?
So what? So I think we've talked enough.
Oh, please, you should... Poor Brian, he's wandering around so lost and forlorn. Shannon, come home. All right, okay, I won't insist. Hold on, your uncle wants to speak. Would you please try to talk some sense in that girl?
I will.
I'm sorry I took forever to...
Shannon.
Okay. Yeah, please. I just can't believe that you two haven't gone off on some kind of romantic honeymoon yet. Thank you. Oh, no, we wouldn't do that. We're too worried about Brian and Shannon. We have to get that worked out. And besides, romantic would be, for me, even just a little shack by the railroad track, as long as Earl is there. Here, honey, have a cookie.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, yeah.
I thought it was bad luck to have you tree up so low.
Oh, no, luck is what you make it, sir. And this tree has a very special meaning, John.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Well, I mean, never too late. Never too late to have your first tree. Never too late to fall in love, you know, that kind of stuff. I like that. Yeah, I do, too.
Yes, I am picking up your mail. Yes, don't worry. No, there's just the usual bills, which I'm paying for at the moment. Oh, there was an offer from some company just to buy your Walsh stock. Yes, at a rate considerably above the market value. Oh, I wish you were back here. I'd do my little bird. No, I just want you to be happy. I love you, too. Ciao.
Oh, that's so true. Well,
Mrs. Mitchell, I presume.
Come in, yes.
I guess I should have called.
No, you shouldn't. Put your coat down. You're just in time for dessert and coffee.
Okay. Hello, Barbara.
So, I guess by your expression that you were not able to get Shannon to come back home, huh?
No.
Oh, if only we knew where she was.
Well, she's in Edinburgh.
Oh, Edinburgh?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Barbara. Shannon doesn't want Brian to know that.
Well, you certainly won't hear it from me. But, you know, it's rather a coincidence. Duncan is in Edinburgh on business.
Oh, yes, I know. As a matter of fact, Duncan and Shannon, they had dinner together tonight. Yes, it cheered her up enormously.
More coffee, Meg?
No, thank you.
Well, why don't we get rid of this?
Okay.
Your wife is very beautiful.
Yes, she is.
Must be very strange to be married to someone and not living with them.
It wasn't my decision, Meg.
It's hard to understand the decision of wanting to have a baby all on your own. I mean, all the things that can go wrong. Must be very scary and lonely.
Are you speaking from experience?
No. Why'd you say that?
It's not important. Meg, have you ever been in love?
Yeah, once.
Well, that certainly doesn't make you smile.
Well, someone else was involved.
Yes, that was my problem, too.
Oh, you mean Craig?
Look, I know that Craig is a friend of your family, especially your sister Iva, so why don't we just stay clear of that subject, all right?
Fine by me. Why don't you get dressed?
You know, I spend all day in a suit and tie. When I'm at home, I like to be comfortable. Does it bother you?
Me? No, I didn't even notice that's all you had on till you got up from the dinner table.
Good. You know, you could join me if you'd like. I have another robe in the bathroom.
I'm fine just the way I am, thank you.
You certainly are. Meg, what's wrong with you?
Oh, well, to be frank, when you kiss me, you act like you expect more.
Is that so terrible?
Well, yes, I've already told you. I'm really not ready. I've never...
Look, that's what makes all of this so wonderful and exciting. Why don't you just trust me? Hmm?
Very quiet.
Oh, very content, very comfortable, very satisfied.
I am like a panther who's had a wonderful dinner.
You know, you're very bright,
Oh, thank you.
intelligent, fun to be with. Tell me, why are you unattached, huh?
Unattached. By choice. By choice. Did you ever think of that? Look at what is this?
Is it by choice?
Darling, I have been attached many, many times.
Really?
Mm.
Have you had the great love of your life?
You mean only one?
Yeah. One.
Maybe. Maybe.
Lily's father?
Yeah.
So why didn't you two ride off in the sunset together?
Because he's dead. He died. Actually, when it was going on, we had some very rare times. He admired me, he worshipped me, he made me feel wonderful, he made me feel beautiful. He wanted me to succeed, and I miss him every day, and I would give anything in my life to have another night with him. Am I being ridiculous?
Why?
Talking about another man in your bed.
There you are with that old-fashioned morality again.
Yeah, maybe I'm an old-fashioned girl.
Are you? Well, tell me, would you sell everything? Huh? Lady Faust, would you sell everything for one night of perfect passion? Would you? Your empire?
Ooh, Faust, you're so literary. Sure. Why not? I mean, what am I losing? Money? I've had it. I've had everything. Everything that gratifications you can get from money. And power? I do like it. But one is alone at the top, except sometimes I'm uncomfortable.
legacy? Who? My daughter, Sierra, isn't interested in business, and my daughter, Lily, despises business. So, my daughter, Lily, thing she likes most in the world is to muck out the horse stalls at the barn at the farm. I gotta go. Gotta go home.
You are the most interesting woman I have ever met.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's for the compliment. That is a compliment.
Yeah, it's a compliment. I see a lot of traces of myself in you. And they tell me opposites are supposed to be attracted to one.
James, stay just as you are, always. Don't change. Eternally James.
Please be there, Emily. Please be there.
You know, Emma is right. I'm a very, very selfish person. What I'm going through, it's nothing compared to what you can fix.
Oh, come on, that's not true. Any kind of a loss is important. You just got a better shot at getting back what you lost than I do.
So you tell me, how are you? How you doing, really? And don't give me this, oh, I'm fine, I never felt better, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'm not sure. It's like the accident's over and nobody's taking the time to count up the casualties.
You gotta take the time, kid. You and Tom now, together, okay?
I've got to go meet Tom. At the penthouse. I got to see how Lisa and Earl are, what they're up to.
Well, I hear that they're both very happy.
Yes.
Thank you for coming by to take care of your old man. Now, don't forget that I can take care of you, too, anytime you want. Anything I can do.
Yes, there is something you can do.
What?
There are two very happy people. Mama and Casey. I don't want you giving them any more flack. Oh, God. It's so hard to find happiness in this life, you know? You gotta be happy for those who have the guts to reach out and grab the good stuff. And there's another favor you can do for me.
What?
You can give it a second try with Emma. I mean it. Stick your neck out. What do you got to lose? Who knows, you know? Maybe you'll get the brass ring this time. Good night.
Good night.
Mama, I'm sorry for barging in here earlier like I did, so full of myself.
Never apologize for being happy.
Well, it's just I got kind of carried away. I mean, my life, it's changing so much.
I know.
And about Meg and New Mexico.
Sweetheart, please. Not now, okay? Would you turn that music off? Hello?
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by New Charmin Free, with no dyes, inks, or perfumes. And by Antiseptic Scope with T25. Scope leaves your breath minty fresh, not medicine-y. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Hello? Is there anybody there?
It's me. Emma?
Yes, John. What do you want?
I want a second chance. Now, maybe I have no right in asking for one, and if it didn't mean so much to me, I would never stick my neck out like this, but I've seen you give other people the benefit of the doubt when they didn't deserve it, so I thought I'd try.
John, my feelings haven't changed. I'm still trying to understand what happened. The one thing that I am sure of, though, is that the trust that we had is gone.
Forever?
John, you really are quite a wonderful man. A wonderful person, and I'm very grateful that everything that you did for me and my family, I'm very grateful.
I don't want thanks.
All the same. I'm thanking you for that, and I can truly understand how you'd want Dusty home with you, and I just find it very, very difficult to understand how you could use someone to get what you wanted, and how dishonest you could be to get what you wanted.
Emma, I was used, too, by Meg. I think she's a past master at that game. Let's forget I said that, please.
John, Meg is a girl. You're a grown man. I can't believe that you didn't know what you were doing.
Emma, I have never blamed anybody else for anything that I have done until this very moment, and I wish I hadn't said that to you. I'd like to take it back, but then I guess that isn't possible.
John, I really have to go. I'm very confused about all this.
Emma, before you hang up, let me just say that, everything you've said about me, I suppose it's true. I'm not saying that it isn't, but there is one thing that I want you to know, and that is that I love you.
I love you too, John. But love without trust, it just isn't enough. Good night.
You okay?
I thought you were going to be upstairs studying, yeah. I'm fine. I'm awfully glad you're here tonight.
So am I.
Why don't we go upstairs and take a look at that, this English paper that you've been
More
slaving
guests?
over? I don't think so. It's got to be somebody else.
Good
Yes.
evening. I'd like to see Dr. Dixon.
Hi, Erica. Want some tea?
Oh, some.
Yeah, well, you have tea. I see that. Well, you want a hug?
Oh, sure. I can always use a hug.
Oh, good.
You mustn't worry about me. I'm okay.
I can't help worrying about you. I know what it's like to have somebody you care about lie to you.
You're too young to understand something like that.
No, I'm not, really. It all started when my father killed himself. My mother's been hiding things from me ever since. I want to know about it. I can't. I can't. I can't talk about it because it just drives me insane.
Lily, I noticed this evening at supper you hardly said a word to Holden.
Well, I'm still bothered about his part in the New Mexico business.
Yeah, I thought that was it. No, I'm hardly the one to talk about forgetting and forgiving, but I want you to know that Holden rarely lies. I still have to have a talk with him about this. The one that I really have a lot to straighten out with is Meg. I hope that she's learned her lesson by all this.
Now stop it, right now.
Meg, do you know what it means to be a tease?
Maybe we just better call it a night. No, as a matter of fact, I think we shouldn't see one another anymore. Obviously, you're used to women who let you do anything you want. Well, where I come from, they call women like that tramps. And if we're going to get down to name-calling, I suppose I'd rather be called a tease.
Well, Meg, I didn't mean to insult you. Just wait a moment. I'll change and drop you off at Lila's.
No, thank you. I'd prefer to take the bus. I'll probably have to fight you off in the car and then get insulted all over
Oh,
again.
no, come on, Meg.
You know what your problem is? Your wife's got you so frustrated you're ready to take it out on other women. Well, count me out. Oh, but dinner was nice, Antonio. Thanks.
Oh, Margot's here.
How's John?
Well, I'm just glad Andrew's with him. Hey, hi, everybody. Hey, Slugger. How are you? Good. Or should I call you Flipper? I understand you're the star of the swim team. Hi, Barbara. You look lovely as ever.
Thank you. Well, darling, I wish that Earl and I would be able to get in touch with the two of you so we can have dinner before we go away on our honeymoon.
Still the Caribbean?
No, Earl has changed the plans. Now we're going to take a trip around the world. Talk about romantic.
Well, honey, I think we better be getting home with the swim team tomorrow.
I'll let you know.
You think Dad got the message? I really want him to come to the meet tomorrow.
Yeah, well, he's very, very busy, but I'll be there.
Oh, thank you. Barbara, sweetheart, I couldn't help but notice how upset you were when you heard that Duncan had taken Shannon out for lunch.
Oh, Edinburgh, please, don't be ridiculous. I know that I can only count on Duncan for an occasional pleasant evening. The man is too full of secrets. But you, I am happy for.
Oh, well, I'm happy, and I'm going to stay that way.
Good. Good night.
Thanks for dinner. Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Good night, Paul. Good luck to you on the swim meet, huh?
Bye-bye.
It was.
Good night. Tell me about the Caribbean. All about it.
Around the world, huh? What made you decide on that?
Oh, Edinburgh.
Which direction are you going?
How come I knew that?
So I want to know what Duncan's doing there, what he's trying to cover up. I like the idea of the Falcon as being my hobby now.
Well, we can use all the help we can get, Earl.
Oh, spoken like a true member of the new crime commission, huh? Listen, have you decided yet what you're going to do? You going to go to Washington?
Well, actually, I haven't, but I'm going to have to let them know yes or no in a couple of days.
Thank you, Rosa. I guess you can go to bed now if you like.
All right, but tomorrow, you and me, we have things to say to each other, okay?
You too, huh? Yeah, well, why not?
Nice seeing you, Andy.
Nice to see you, too.
Bedtime, pal.
Okay, good night.
Yes, indeed, John, that's a fine boy you got there.
Get out of here. No, don't come around here. Just get out of here.
Now, John, that's not very hospitable. I mean, after all, you came to my house earlier today. Besides, there's something I want to show you. You ever read the City Times?
Not if I can help it, no.
I ran across this rather interesting little article on the business page. New Walsh executive finalizes multi-million Lawrence Industry pact. How about that? And here you and Rick Ryan would have me believe that James Stenbeck didn't have two nickels to rub together.
You cut the sarcasm, will you?
Sarcasm? No, I'm very serious. I mean, this man looks very successful, wouldn't you say? After reading this article, I've decided to limit the grace period that I've allowed you and Ryan. I want 50 grand by tomorrow at midnight or else.
Get out of here. I don't allow criminals in this house. Scram!
You know, John, you really ought to learn to curb your temper. As I remember, was the thing that always got you in hot water in the past. If not for yourself, at least think of your son. At least, you know, he looks up to you. How much longer do you think that'll last?
Thanks for driving me home.
Why can't you be happy for me? Everything is falling into place, and if I had you, everything would be right for me.
You have this game plan, don't you? And if something doesn't fit, you want to get rid of it, right? And you don't care whose life it
All
affects.
I want is you.
Hi. Hi, guys. You've been out painting the town. You know about this boy's triumph.
I thought you'd be still celebrating with Mr. Stenbeck.
Oh, darling, I had a nice glass of champagne. Mr. Stenbeck with two. And then I felt like seeing my lovely daughter, and I came home. Here I am.
I better be going.
Now, today, you know, you exceeded my wildest expectations. I'm afraid that you're going to just be irreplaceable in a few years. In the meantime, I want you to continue and listen and learn. Learn from Tonio, learn from Ed Patterson, learn from James Stenbeck, learn from Ambrose.
Right, James Stenbeck. I mean, he can teach you how to kill. Of course, he didn't succeed with Dusty, but...
Darling, would you give me a break, please, and wait for the jury to come in on that one?
I don't need a jury. I believe Dusty.
Dusty was a tiny little little boy, and there have been years of brainwashing by John.
Can anybody say anything nasty about this guy? I mean, come on. Oh, he's so wonderful. All right? How did he go over this glitch in the Lawrence contract that would have been terrible if Holden didn't pick up on it? Even Craig said that it would be.
Well, yeah, he was at my house and he accidentally overheard when I told my family what had happened.
Holden, you've got to be more careful. I don't want my business matters in Craig's hands.
I understand, Miss Walsh. It won't happen again.
Well, good. All right. Come right to my office first thing in the morning, because I've got something new for you.
Absolutely. Lily, walk me out.
Sure.
You catch cold, sweetheart.
Night, Miss Walsh.
Good night, Holden.
Yeah.
Lucinda, this is about Lily. I'm offering you a new deal.
Duncan and Shannon, alone together in Edinburgh. Dinner? Hi.
Did you see Dad's picture with Miss Walsh today?
Oh, yes, I did. Since when are you reading the business section,
Ever since Dad got back, I want to be able to understand what he's doing. This must be some big deal, huh? Multi-million-dollar, it says.
Yeah. Listen, honey, I know you love your father, and that's as it should be, but just remember he's not perfect.
Oh, come on, Mom. No one is. And Dad's admitted he made a few mistakes.
Just because one admits to mistakes doesn't mean that one will not make them again. So what I'm saying is, don't make him out to be a hero until he's proven he can take the title, okay?
Mom, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Lately, I've only been seeing Dad a few times a week, and sometimes he hasn't even returned my calls. Now, I know he's very busy, but for some reason, I have a feeling this was all your idea.
What?
Mom?
We'll continue this discussion in a moment. What on earth are you?
Hey, Dad.
Hi, I got your message. I came straight over from the office.
Great. Can you stay a while?
Start concentrating on work, but before you do, I just wanted to talk to you for a second.
Okay.
I told Mama about the fact that we couldn't try to have kids for a couple of years.
That's what you were talking about when I walked in.
Yeah. Huh?
I thought you didn't want to tell anybody.
Well, you told Cam, and Mama's not, well, she's not going to tell anyone.
You know, it's not like it's some big, deep, guilty secret. There are a lot of couples that have the same problem.
I'm going to sleep downstairs tonight, okay?
No, look, I'll go down there.
No, I've already set it up, really. While you were in the shower. Just until, for not long. When Audrey, until she says, about another month. So.
Okay.
I just thought it might be easier.
Yeah.
I want things to be the same.
They will be.
Well, this way at least the passing of time won't be so painful.
Yeah. I love you.
all we want is what other people in love take for granted.
I know. Hey.
I gotta get going. Good night. I miss you.
Miss you already. None of this is fair.
John, are you shouting at me? Because I'm going to disconnect you.
I'm not shouting. I'm speaking very clearly. I want you to fire James Stenbeck.
Why? He's invaluable.
In the office or in bed.
What's it to you?
If the courts don't put him in jail, I'll make sure that I do myself.
The vigilante mentality and the acting chief of staff.
I'll say it one more time. Either you fire James Stenbeck, or I'm going to tell Lily that she doesn't need to call you mother anymore.
And I will tell Emma Snyder that you sent her child out as bait to New Mexico to bring Dusty back.
Your threat doesn't hold water anymore. But mine does. So what's it going to be?
John, now you listen and just really listen attentively, because I'm going to say this only once. If I see you near my Lily, I will go after you in ways that you will never forget.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you by Pringles Potato Chips, regular light rippled cheesums and sour cream and onion. And by Ivory. There's a pure, natural kind of clean when you lather up with Ivory. Stay tuned for Capital, next on most of these CBS stations. Menswear by Barney's New York. Furs by Christie Brothers. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns.